Why am I doing this crazy thing? I'm creating this channel because I actually know how hard it is to learn a language. I've struggled with for years trying to learn Spanish, and people would say, it's too late, you're too old to learn another language now. But I actually knew that wasn't true. More than anything, I just wanted to learn to watch TV and have basic conversations with people around me. After years of effort, I was still struggling to think natively in Spanish concepts. I would take something I knew in English and I would try to make it work. It just never sounded authentic, and I wanted it to come across naturally like it did with English. And then I discovered a new method. It was called Comprehensible Input. Everything changed. Acquiring another language is actually much easier than we think. I'm using it to acquire German, Spanish, and other languages right now. I want to give English learners what I wish I had. Fun, easy to understand videos, and actually help you speak and understand English for real. When I was a kid, I was growing up on a small farm in Missouri, and I dreamed of learning other languages. That was just the kind of kid I was. I loved the idea of connecting with people from other cultures, and I actually named my goat Pepe, Elena, and Pedro. I actually just had this fascination with other languages. And I choose Spanish as my first language. I had just no opportunities to learn Spanish where I lived. Like many Americans, I took it in high school, but, I didn't learn how to communicate. Sure, I could conjugate verbs. Sure, everybody could do that. Yo hablo, tú hablas. But where could I be able to actually speak to someone? I just couldn't. I didn't understand them. I couldn't find I didn't express myself. I was just frustrating and disappointing. I wanted to be fluent so badly, but it felt impossible. I tried watching Plaza Sésamo, a children's television show, Sesame Street in Spanish. But it was actually kind of frustrating because I thought I should be able to understand everything. I do now. By the time I was starting to learn, I just couldn't understand most of it. And it was very frustrating because, this is a show for children? Why do I not understand anything? It was so disappointing. I was so frustrated. Eventually, I began to succeed. Not because I worked harder, but because I finally changed how I was learning. I discovered something called comprehensible input. What comprehensible input means that you're listening to things you actually understand. A level a little bit above your level. And it's also interesting, visual, meaningful. When I first discovered this particular method, everything changed. I found a website named Dreaming Spanish, and it blew me away. They use videos to teach Spanish in a way that's clear, fun, easy to follow, and even for beginners, total beginners. And it worked. I started completely over with their beginner videos. And my Spanish basically really got much, much better. And I was learning faster than I ever was before. That made me realize that this method works. I wanted to test it even further. Could I learn another language from zero, just using comprehensible input? So I started learning German this way, and after just a complete experiment, and after 5 months, I can now watch the news on ZDF, a German news channel. No grammar books, no memorizing list, just understanding and enjoying content made for me. And that's why I'm making this YouTube channel. I realize there's almost nothing like this for people who learn English. Okay? People who want to learn English around the world, they deserve content that's fun and interesting and easy to understand. You don't have to be a kid. You don't have to go to a fancy school. You don't have to memorize endless grammar rules. You just need English that comes into you, that makes sense to you. And this won't be perfect. I make mistakes in these videos, but it's better to have something out there that is good for you to just hear English than it is about having something that's perfect. Let's see what we can do together.